Welcome to Dollars and Cents Radio. This week, a fresh new approach to what we're going to talk about today with our good friend Doug Horne. On the air for 9 years with this program. That is absolutely incredible. Doug Horne has been helping his clients plan for retirement. He's passionate about showing people how to never lose money again using risk-free strategies. And he's been the host of Dollars and Cents Radio for, as I said, 9 years. Doug enjoys helping people all across the state of Texas protect their retirement money. Does that mean you too? Absolutely. Not one of his clients has ever lost a penny due to market downturns. Doug enjoys helping his clients to have peace of mind, and man, we all need a little bit of peace of mind these days, about their finances by keeping their retirement funds protected. He desires to give you the same peace of mind for your retirement. And about Dollars and Cents Radio, every week we uncover the what-ifs of retirement, on how you can take the money you've worked so hard to earn all your life and make that money work for you in retirement. So whether you're close to retirement, maybe you're already at that stage of life, there are ways to reap the benefits of your life's hard work. And today, you're going to find out more about that. But here's something I want you to do right now. Call 855-317-2346, and what will happen is you will get a free copy of the Dollars and Cents Retirement Book. It is absolutely free. 855-317-2346. And the first question for you, Doug, is, first of all, why do you do what you do, man? Why are you in this business?
I'm in this business. Oh, goodness. I guess I'm following my father. He was in this business, and it provided a good living for my family. I learned a lot from him as I got older, and just seemed like a natural to go work with him, once I was old enough and ready to do that. And that was some 29 years ago. So wasn't a young pup because I'm getting a little bit older now, but almost 3 decades in the business of helping people. And it's very rewarding. It's very rewarding when you have a plan come to fruition. My business itself, we do everything. We do the markets as well. I don't talk about that on my radio programs for a couple hours in all my cities every week, simply because in my way of thinking, there's tons and tons of brokers out there that'll put your money at risk. None of us has a crystal ball. Not one of us has a crystal ball. So we do the best with diversifying on that side, on the market side. But when we have the big market upsets like last year, the virus that hit and the market dropped about 30%, that's not fun for anybody. And no matter how good a broker you are, nobody saw that coming. And that's what, things like that can derail your retirement. And so we focus on the guaranteed world, the other side of my business. And that's what I've been doing since 2000. And that's what I've been talking about, almost exclusively on the radio for the past 9 years. So here we are.
Common sense answers for the what-ifs about your retirement. This is a free booklet if you call right now, 855-317-2346, 855-317-2346. It is free when you call right now, 855-317-2346, for the free Dollars and Cents Retirement Book. They say if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. Would you say that's true about you?
That is true. I love doing what I do. I can't see myself retiring someday, although I guess we all get to that point. Oh, goodness. My father was in the business. He worked until he was in almost 80 and then left for other reasons, not because he wanted to. He was taking care of, stepmom and so forth when she was sick. But I love doing what I do. I love helping people. And on the guaranteed side that we're going to talk about, that I focus on my radio programs, people know what to expect. People love it. I've got nothing but happy clients throughout time, because when you don't have the opportunity, or when you don't have losing money as a possibility when the markets go down, that's just fantastic. One of the things I hear consistently over the years is, well, Doug, now that we're at or close to or in retirement, we don't want to go through another 2008 or a 2000 through 2002 and lose 40% of our money. We've worked too hard to get there, and now the end is in sight. We need our money to work for us, but we don't want to lose it the next time there's a market. We call them corrections. Everybody else calls them crashes, and they happen, and they're coming.
I think I like corrections better than crashes when it concerns my money. How about you?
That is true. That is true.
And before we go any further, write this number down and call it for your free Dollars and Cents Retirement Book. It's free when you call right now. Are you ready? 855-317-2346. 855-317-2346. What are some of the questions when you sit down with someone, and you sit down with an awful lot of people because you've got a tremendous amount of clients across the state of Texas, what are some of the things that they first ask you when you come face to face with somebody?
Sure. And most of the people I work with, because I'm on the radio in so many places and so many times, most people come from the radio program. They call and we send them out our free book, and we'll give that number out in just a little bit again. But they come in, and one of the first things they want to know is, okay, on your radio program, we heard that you could be getting market or close to market returns, but you don't have to worry about giving any back when the markets go south. How do they do that?
That sounds impossible. How do you do that?
Well, let's talk about the new kid on the block, and that's kind of my niche market. That's what we focus on, and that's the fixed indexed annuity world, also known as the equity indexed annuity world. That is the animal that came out. We first saw them in the mid-'90s. We thought they were fascinating, but again, the '90s was just a growth decade in the markets. It was hard to find people that cared about how many fees they were paying. They just saw good returns year after year. It almost didn't matter what you were in the '90s. You were seeing your money grow like a weed. But in 2000, and this happened with my practice as well, when we had that first downturn and it got progressively worse for the next 2 years, I started seeing my clients, and I went back to this new product that came out in the mid-'90s and said, I wonder if my clients would like this, because I'm obviously finding out who doesn't like market risk and who doesn't like the fact that their account's down now that the dot-com bust has hit in 2000. And so I started showing these products, and people loved them. It just kind of grew from there and became my niche market. And that's actually, the product and the focus of my business that got me on the radio back when I started. They wanted somebody a little different than just the put your money in mutual funds and have a nice day type of broker and type of radio show. So that's what we were approached with, and we've been doing it ever since. So.
And remember, we've got the free Dollars and Cents Retirement Book available to you right now by calling 855-317-2346. You told me a story off the air. I thought it was kind of a funny story. You've become someone who is known because you're on the radio, so they don't see your face, so they don't know what you look like.
That's right.
If they go to the website, they'll see your picture and such like that. But you're on an elevator with some guy, and you're riding up to your office, and you speak to him, and he says, "Wait a minute, aren't you that guy on the radio? I listen to your show all the time. How does that make you feel? You're a celebrity, Doug."
No, I'm not a celebrity. And, if you're on TV, it's easy for people to, oh my gosh, there's so-and-so. Cheryl Fryer does my promos, and, people in Houston remember her, of course. But yes, I got on the elevator. This person had let the door close before I got on, and I came and pushed the button. The doors opened, and I stood back thinking he was going to get off. He goes, "No, I'm going up. I just forgot to push the button." And so just to make him feel better, I said, "Oh, I've done that before. Haven't we all?" Something like that.
The senior moment, right?
That's right. That's right. He looked at me and he said, "I know that voice." He said, "Are you on the radio? You're on the radio, aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah, we do Dollars and Cents Radio. As a matter of fact, my office is right upstairs." And he goes, "Oh my gosh, I've been listening to you forever." And so that made me feel good. When all you can recognize about a person is their voice, I don't know if I'd be that good of hearing to recognize somebody else's voice, but that made me feel good. Yes, it did.
That's really great that you're at that point. I mean, 9 years doing this is a long time, and 30 years doing this
for the business
as a profession is really solid. And what that says is that what you do is valid. What you do is something that is sustainable. And I would think that as a client of yours, that I would want somebody who has experience, who has a plan, and who has a plan that they can get explained to in a very simplistic way. So you may have just joined us, or you're running through a busy morning, and you haven't taken the time to call for your free Dollars and Cents Retirement Book. You haven't done that yet? Do it now. 855-317-2346. 855-317-2346. And what you do, apparently, with your company and with your clients is just make them feel comfortable about their money and about where it's headed. How do you do that?
Well, I mean, that's a great point. Absolutely. People need to feel comfortable with what they're going into. And I'm talking about retirement. You know, people that have worked, whatever, 40, 45 years, their whole life, and now they're looking forward to the good times and enjoy the fruits of their labor. It is very stressful for most people to think about, oh my gosh, you know, we've got this pile of money now set aside for retirement, but what happens when another 2008 hits or another virus hits like last year or another 2000,
absolutely.
which was a 3-year down period in the market? Those are stressful things for people, and they want to know, well, how can I make my money last, still work for me, but I don't want to go through those times again? And those are the kind of people that call from my radio programs and say, that sounds too good to be true. I hear that all the time. It's not too good to be true, but I love the fact that people say that because they're getting the picture. There's pros and cons with everything. Not every plan is right for everyone, but I tell people and try to remember to tell people when I first sit down with them that, hey, we're going to go over and answer all your questions. We're going to go over what we do, our niche market, the equity index annuity world, and we're going to explain everything. And I don't know if this is going to be a fit for you, but you will know by the time we get finished talking. I love to teach. I don't see how people could buy any financial product unless they get all their questions answered first.
And they shouldn't really, should they?
No, they should not.
No.
We're used to the 401k world. I mean, that's kind of the weapon of choice for retirement since the old days when, you know, companies had pensions and that was about it. So people are used to the markets and they're used to the 401k with the choices of mutual funds. Doesn't mean they're comfortable going forward into retirement with that, but that's what they're used to.
And before we go any further, write this number down and call it for your free Dollars and Cents Retirement book. It's free when you call right now. Are you ready? 855-317-2346. 855-317-2346.
When we talk on the radio about a product that will guarantee that you can't ever go backwards in a bad market year, yet you can still do very well in a good market year, double digits in some cases, a lot of cases we've done that in the past, still tickles me to death that we can do close to or double digits in a product that has zero downside risk. And unless we have some of the optional bells and whistles, which are good things if we need them, there's zero fees that come along with these main accounts. And so zero fees, zero risk, and a good history of returns. When I sit down with clients, we print out whichever company I think fits their situation. I'll print out an illustration. In the insurance industry, it's standard for all companies and all products to have their illustrations show us and prove on paper from the company what they've averaged as far as the last 10 years. Also on the same page, it shows what's the best 10 years out of the last 20 for what we're showing them and what's the worst 10 years out of the last 20. And, oh gosh, just off the top of my head, the company I ran yesterday, their worst 10-year average out of the last 20 was 5.5. Their most recent, and which was also their best 10 of the last 20, averaged 8.2.
Wow.
So, gosh, somewhere between 5.5 and 8.2, and that can change and could. Sure. But, I mean, looking back 2 decades to get those averages, I feel pretty comfortable telling people it's reasonable to expect somewhere in there with, again, zero risk and zero fees. Most people in retirement, you know, the book, which I don't believe in, but, you know, the book says, you know, shoot for 4, 3.5%, 4, 5% withdrawals in retirement. And with whatever you're in, hopefully that will recoup it as you're using it. Well, if we're averaging, you know, what we've done the past 10 years in this specific product I'm talking about, 8.2%, and we're taking, for example, 5%, your account is still going to be growing in retirement in a risk-free, fee-free way. And people, once they understand all that, think, wow, that's, you know, you see the light bulb go on. They think that's kind of maybe what I'm looking for, even though I didn't know what I was looking for.
I think I just saw a few light bulbs go on. This is Dollars and Cents Radio. If you've got a question for Doug, 855-317-2346, 855-317-2346. Common sense answers for the what-ifs about your retirement. This is a free booklet if you call right now, 855-317-2346, 855-317-2346. It is free when you call right now, 855-317-2346, for the free Dollars and Cents Retirement book. Doug has the answers. That's why we're spending this hour talking to you and to Doug about your retirement funding. So you've got great answers. You've got things that you can take people into retirement in a comfortable and a positive way. What are some of the things that you can screw up on the other side if you don't if you don't sit down and talk about the right things to do? How can you screw up your retirement?
Well, I mean, if we're talking people coming from the 401k world and the at-risk market world, people love the markets in a good year. Who wouldn't? But that's the key. Can I have the good years without having any of those horrible years where I give it all back? And that's what these products can do and have the ability to do. And that's what people love about them. People look at me and go, so how do they do that? Guarantee that you won't lose money in a bad year. And we can go into that. And I do go into it with my clients and give them a detailed explanation. But it's all legit. It's all Googleable, if that's a word. And people can look up these concepts.
I like that.
It just came into my head. I don't know.
There you go.
But we show them exactly how they work. And when a prospective client leaves me, and I send them with the brochures and the illustrations based on their situation for their money. They have a good understanding of that option that's available to them. Some of the options that everybody knows are available to them are just, continue on with the mutual fund world or the stocks and bond world. Mm-hmm. And that might have gotten you to where you are now, but you certainly remember the bumps along the way, even further back than 2000. But, to a T, if you've been in the 401k world for 20, 25, 30 years, whatever, you've gone through some of those bad times and you've seen what it does to your money. And that is one mistake you could make going forward. I call it the mistake of hoping too much. Hope is a good thing. But when we hope that let's just leave our money at risk and hope that retirement happens okay.
And before we go any further, write this number down and call it for your free Dollars and Cents retirement book. It's free when you call right now. Are you ready? 855-317-2346. 855-317-2346.
The ability to get market-like returns with the right, good year, or even, returns that people would think aren't too exciting. A 5% return. Well, where can you get that right now as far as guaranteed interest?
Right.
If we have a 5% year in the market, I'm okay with it because, hey, it's better than we could have done in guaranteed interest somewhere else. And we did it with no fees and no risk. So let's hope for a better market year next year. But if the next year's market is horrible, we don't have to worry about going backwards and then recouping some of our money later on.
Are there any things specifically in the state of Texas that are an important aspect of what you do in terms of rules, regulations, protocols with money?
Oh, absolutely. We're all licensed by the state insurance board to sell these products. When we talk markets, we have to be licensed with the Texas State Securities Board. And yes, they do a good job. I'm a firm believer that the states, both the Securities Board and the insurance world, do so much better a job of regulating their industries than the SEC on the federal side. And I don't want to get in trouble on the radio, so I won't go into that more, but let's just leave it there.
Okay.
The states do a really good job, and we're part of that, and it keeps everybody safe. It keeps me safe, it keeps my clients safe, and that's the way it should be. Nobody wants to worry about anything going south and going wrong on them. And in the insurance world, kind of like my example of the illustrations, they're uniform from company to company. So, and also when we're doing those illustrations with any of these companies, and this is an important point, we can only illustrate what it's averaged for the last 10 years. And we can take that every 10 years going forward. They won't let us go in there and say, if it grows at 10%, here's what it'll look like. Or if, just made up numbers, because undoubtedly an agent somewhere would do that. And so when we're showing just actual history of what this has done, and then all we can project into the future is, we've got 20 years of history, so we can play with that range. And I think that's reasonable to show somebody. And combine that, because those numbers look good, combine that with the fact that they don't have to worry about that bad year. And it's coming, hopefully later instead of sooner. But, administrations change, situations in the world change. We get viruses out of weird places. Just anything can make the market correct again. And the markets, that's what they're set up to do. They're set up to be cyclical. They're supposed to correct once in a while. Nobody likes to hear that, but that's how they work. Otherwise,
Sure.
Who wouldn't just put your money in the market and never have to worry about it again? If there was never a downside to the markets, we wouldn't be having this talk right now. Let's put it that way.
And remember, we've got the free Dollars and Cents Retirement Book available to you right now by calling 855-317-2346. So tell me, Doug, do you have a different kind of a conversation with somebody who is approaching retirement as opposed to somebody who's already in there and actively retired?
That's a good question, but no, everybody's situation in a sense is the same in that whatever they've got, they're looking to grow it safely, hopefully, and hopefully, like I'm telling you, with as low a fee as possible, zero fees in the case of our products. But everyone's looking for the same thing. If you're just retired, you might not have the experience of having gone with a bad broker and saying, "Oops, let's make another change," and so forth. Somebody that's been in retirement for a while has had the experience of watching their money in retirement, and so maybe they know a little bit more about which direction they'd like to go as far as guarantees and no risk and so forth. But when any of us are thinking about our retirement and our retirement funds, we all tend to get on the same page. It's I've never had a client come in and say, "I want this as risky as possible. I want to quadrangle it or nothing." We don't do that.
Common sense answers for the what ifs about your retirement. This is a free booklet if you call right now, 855-317-2346, 855-317-2346. It is free when you call right now, 855-317-2346, for the free Dollars and Cents Retirement Book.
Regardless, I tell people, at the very least, if we never see each other again, you're going to walk out of this meeting knowing a lot more about your options and what's out there for you. And I hope we do see you again. But I take the time, no matter how many questions they've got. I jokingly say, appointments can be real short or they can be real long. It's up to the client. I'm there for them, and unless I've just got a hard time that I have to get out of there, and I'll let them know up front, I'm there to answer their questions and whatever they can think of. And then I also send them with whatever illustrations and brochures we talk about. But I let them know, hey, this is kind of new stuff to you in a lot of cases. You're going to get home, and when you guys talk about it, you might think, what did Doug say about this? Or I can't remember what he said about this.
Right.
I tell them, text, email, call anytime.
Yeah.
You can call me on a weekend. I will at some point get the message, and if I have time, I can call you back then. I love doing that because the radio show makes my Mondays really busy with all the new people that I've got to get in touch with. So I tell people, if you've got a burning question at 8 o'clock at night, text me, email me. I'll get it, if not then, eventually, and I will answer you before the next workday because we're 9 to 5, of course, but your retirement is there 24/7, 7 days a week, and so any burning questions, any concerns, we're there for you.
There is so much more to talk about, and that's why we're with you for the hour here, all across the state of Texas on several great radio stations, Dollars and Cents Radio. And before we go any further, write this number down and call it for your free Dollars and Cents Retirement Book. It's free when you call right now. Are you ready? 855-317-2346. 855-317-2346. When we come back, we will talk more about your retirement on the Dollars and Cents Radio.